Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
If you're a fan of comic books and comic book conventions, Daytona Beach Comic Con needs to be on your list of must-attend events. It's a show that actually focuses on comic books. Imagine that! This year's event is happening on Saturday, September the 6th, and Sunday, September the 7th. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. If you find yourself in the Orlando area, and let's be honest, doesn't everyone come to Orlando for the House of Mouse? Head over to Coliseum of Comics to get your comic book fix. Be sure to check out their location on East Colonial Drive, where they carry a wide selection of independent comics, including Silverline books. Stop by and don't forget to tell them Silverline sent you. Hey, if you're an independent comic creator looking to get your comic printed, look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our comics and do a fantastic job. They can even print special edition covers. When you reach out to them, be sure to tell them Silverline sent you. Looking for a bold way to boost your business? Advertise with Silverline Comics, reaching readers across the U.S. and around the world. Affordable rates, passionate fans, and national and international exposure, all packed inside thrilling, action-packed comics. All ads must be PG-13, perfect for reaching all ages. Spots are limited. Grab your ad space today and become part of the adventure. Silverline Comics, where adventure lives and your brand thrives. Email us at silverlinepubishingllc@gmail.com for more information. And make mine Silverline.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday nights as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday on this Sunday, July the 13th. Let me get that off of Tom's head there. Let's see. Sunday. All right. There we go. I'm Roland Mann. I'm your host. I'm excited to be with you tonight. I am joined by, as usual, that man in the mask guy, Mr. Mike W. Belcher. Say hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
What's going on? Mike and I are joined by not feeling too well tonight, but Color Supreme, Roberta Conroy.
Hello.
Hey, Roberta. You gonna be sneezing all over the camera tonight?
No, the sneezing's not happening. Just a little cough here and there. I got my tea. Oops.
Okay.
Can't see it, but cat and mouse.
Yeah, good deal. Good. Well, you know what? I hear a little cat and mouse makes it all better.
Mm-hmm.
And we are joined by a man who speaks for the pagination himself, Mr. Tom Mason.
Hi, everybody. I haven't seen Superman yet, so no spoilers, please.
Oh, man, I was hoping we could talk about that a little.
Oh, I know. Hold on.
I do know he's
time.
That's the Superman seers are at the bottom. The non-seers are at the top. And last but not least, we're joined by two Thomas Formonti Jr.
Howdy do. And I did want to talk about Superman.
I did too. So we'll. Hey, you know what?
You can say if you liked it or not, but you can't give away details.
We can do this right here.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, hold on.
Oh, there you go.
Now,
What did you think about it?
The only problem is they're all backstage, so they can still hear us.
Oh, we can't cut them off. They can't hear us. Oh, there they are. Oh, they're back. Oh,
It's like the Get Smart episode where they go in the cone of silence.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
But they can still hear everybody.
I thought we were Thanos snapped.
That's right.
That's right. I was gone for a couple of years.
So
Yeah.
short and sweet. I said this before for going live. See if Tommy, if you agree with me. I said go see it in the theaters. It's good.
Okay.
I liked it like I liked the new Spider-Man stuff. I liked him
Okay.
because I liked Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Right.
I think the story was kind of stupid.
I said we'll pick Nick's after they've seen it. Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah.
The one character I didn't like is what I told y'all guys before from the trailers. I didn't like Lex, but I thought he sucked. But I think that the reason why I didn't like him was because of the story. You know, if he had a decent word to say the whole time, then I think I would have liked him a little more.
But you know, in the first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve back in 1978, Luthor just had a stupid plot to just blow up the West Coast so he can have all the real estate.
Yeah, I wish we had that cool of a plot in this movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I liked it. I thought he did a great job as Lex. I thought he was a mean Lex. He was a nasty.
No, he was just an unguided Lex that was just doing stuff for the MacGuffin of the show. That's my plot.
Okay, but Tommy, would you still say go see it? He left.
Yeah, go see it. It's excellent. No, I mean it's really good. Guy's good. The puppy's good. All the acting is pretty good. I just don't like the things that they were saying. It's just in the Spider-Man movies. I think they're all good. I think all the characters, like I've said many times, the only character that I don't think is good in the Spider-Man movies is MJ because she's not MJ.
Right.
You know, but I just don't like what they're doing, and so I don't like what was going on in the whole thing. Gotcha. It was just kind of cool. Mr. What's his name? Mr. Fantastic? Not Mr. No, that's Fantastic Four.
What we'll do is we'll wait a couple of weeks.
We'll talk about it some more.
And then because it just came out Thursday, right? So this
gives
not only these three, but it gives everybody else a chance to have seen it, and then we can actually
go see it. No, it's definitely a great movie. Go see it. I want to go see it again. Yeah, I want to see it again just for all the popcorn stuff, you know. But it was just
What'd you say, Tom?
I said let's schedule it for 2 weeks. Let's do a Superman show.
Okay. Let me look at the calendar and make sure that doesn't mess with anything else. 1, 2. Yeah, we can do that. Because we can do that. Easy to do.
No, it's fun. It's a fun movie. No, go see
Roberta, do you think
it's gonna make a boatload of money?
Do I think?
Roberta, do you think you will have the opportunity to see it within 2 weeks?
Yes.
I love that dude as Superman. He makes a really good Superman. Lois is great too. She's great. It's all good. All the acting, it's cool. Guy Gardner, he was funny.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I got it on there. Superman. This is on the 27th. Yeah. So I'll move that. Oh, and also, I don't know if I told y'all this. And if he's listening, I'm going to put him on the spot. Mr. Stephen Butler said that he gave him a couple of weeks, and he wants to maybe try to come on the show and talk to us.
Yeah,
excellent. That'll be super good.
Yeah, I think so. All right. So before we get into our topic, everybody remember that we got a campaign going, and it needs your love. The Rejects.
Such a unique comic, right?
Say again, Roberta.
Such a unique comic.
It is.
Great idea.
These are rejected heroes, and they have banded together to make a name for themselves and maybe get on the 5 o'clock news. The artwork in there, you have to go see it. This is just a mock-up of the cover, so I can't show you. Well, I mean, I can't show you.
There you go. That's a great one.
But
I like the inside cover too. Look at the inside cover.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my Zomboy thing. Yeah, all the Silverline books, I have like a generic thing that I stick your cover on the front.
That's funny.
So you can only get this foil cover by backing the campaign. Once the campaign's over, this will not be available to you anymore. You can still get the comic, of course, but this foil cover will not be available. So it's going to be limited to basically it's limited to how many to the number of backers that back this, plus about 10 to 12 or something like that we spread out to the creators. Yeah.
I've got a question for you, though.
Okay, ask.
So is that page with the guy with the muscles, is that on the first page of the actual comic? The one that you showed everybody?
This page here?
No, the first page one.
No, this is not. This is
okay. So that's sorry. I just what anybody thinking that was page one of your
original.
No, that was some little silly something I drew, just so everybody knows that's not part of the comic. I always try to make fun of.
You drew this on here, though, right? This is original.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a 4 month. Yeah.
Yeah, that's big money right there.
So, like last book, what was the last book?
I could tell it was original because it bled through.
Yeah, it bled through. Yeah, the last book was what was the last book?
Vipers, Cat and Mouse Vipers.
Yeah, what was on the inside of that one?
Yeah, I couldn't show that one.
No, I drew a naked lady on the inside of that one.
Yeah, I couldn't show that one. So anyway, get on over there, y'all. The campaign still needs your love. There's still another 2 weeks to go. So you've got time, but the campaign needs your love. The art in this is fantastic. I mean, I'm kind of drawn to the story because I wrote it, but the art in this is fantastic. And in case you didn't know, in case you missed this in school, that is Paul Bunyan and that's Babe the Blue Ox. So our rejects, you can see, look at there, he's got them all defeated at his feet here. The rejects have to take on Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, who are running rampant at the beach, because all exciting stories happen at the beach.
Is there a shark?
There is no a baby shark.
Baby shark.
So get over there, back that campaign. Let me open the comments here. Pop says, Madness Entertainment Group. Hey, yo, what's up, Pops?
Hey, Pops.
If you've got it, Pops is almost always our very first commenter here. If you've got a show that you just have something you need to say, if you like, you know what, I need to review comics, I need to review movies, I need to review games, I need to just go online and play games and stream it, let people know. Talk to Pops and become part of the Madness Entertainment Network. He will take care of you. He will get you set up and get you all the knobs and buttons and stuff that you need to make that happen. So reach out to Pops. Other news. My son is getting married on Saturday.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So
closer and closer.
Yep, closer and closer. So we are excited about that. Say again?
How excited are you?
I'm pretty excited. About it.
Because you get to make that extra room into the rolling room.
I've already. It doesn't look anything like it when he left already.
Oh, you've already kicked him out. All right.
So he can't come back. That's what you're saying.
Nope.
Yeah.
He can't come back.
Does he know he can't come back? Does he know that his stuff's out of his room?
Let's put it this way. At the wedding, I'm going to tell Jessica not to send him back.
That's exactly what my mom told Renee. She's like, you married him, you get to keep him.
That's it. This is my sewing room now.
No return.
That's right. Don't send him back. Tank Ferret says, to all you magnificent people. I'm not sure what that little smiley.
Yay, all you magnificent people.
Is that
Maybe that's a failed emoji.
Yeah, could be.
That's a rejected emoji.
Oh, nice tie-in. Good callback.
What's up, Tank Ferret? Thanks for joining us tonight. Grey Wolf says, hi, chat. What's up, Grey Wolf? Thank you also for hanging out with us. We're going to talk about page numbers tonight. Anybody got any other news? Tom, you're going to San Diego this coming week, right?
Yeah, a week from now, I leave for San Diego.
Right.
Going to be there earlier than normal, and just going to hang out for a week. And
yes.
So if you need your Dinosaurs for Hire signed,
yes, that's right. Find me. I'll be on the floor.
You need to find Tom on the floor. He's hard to find though, but so you're gonna have to get your little GPS out and track him across the floor because
look for
he
the
doesn't
Hawaiian
feel
shirts.
very long.
Listen, just look for a fat guy who writes comics and wears a Hawaiian shirt. I'm sure I'll.
Don't you wear that thing on your head that has a big arrow that points down at you, so that way we
cool. Yeah, those are cool. Yeah. So Roberta, you usually go, don't you? Don't you? You often.
I
go,
used to, but it priced me out a while ago. I'll get back into it.
Yeah.
I went without it.
Hey,
I enjoyed the new content.
You're not the only one.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah,
They have
talk
that going on.
after the show. We'll talk after the show. Make sure we got you doing the right things to get in.
Hmm. Well, that's not the problem. It's not getting in. It's the moolah. Trying to
Yeah,
get
I heard the
Hotels
hotels
are
down
tough.
there just are outrageous.
eat us
I'm staying
alive.
with Tom when I go.
Yeah. Well, I think we all stay with David Rios.
Tom's staying with him.
David Rios takes a camper down there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the right idea because there's a couple of great campgrounds down there, including one on the beach, which is where I used to go.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there one of the other Silverliner folks that does that, right?
Camps, not that I know of. David's the only one I'm aware of.
Yeah, I think he does something like that.
Yeah, he camps. I just said that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your
I'll
brain's
shut up.
still in Mississippi trying to catch up.
Should we paginate the show for Tommy?
I think you should.
Grey Wolf says, LOL, my father-in-law told me if I bought my wife a semi-truck full of Chef Boyardee ravioli, she'd follow me to hell.
Wait, tell me more about this
Cassisi,
delicious
what's
ravioli.
up, Cassisi?
Hey, Cassisi.
Cassisi.
Yeah, so other than Roberta not feeling well and my son getting married, Tom going to San Diego, any other news?
Don't we have some shows, some things that we're doing? I know we got some September. We got some stuff.
We got something in August, but
Do we?
Yeah.
June, July, August. That's next month. this year is flying by so fast.
Well, Daytona Beach Comic Con is in September.
Yeah, and then we have something in St. Augustine. When is that? That's also September, isn't it?
Oh yeah, September 14th. Yeah, sure.
It's a busy September.
Yeah, it is. It is a busy.
And also,
September.
don't we have a trade collection available for pre-order?
I think it's a set, not a trade.
Oh, all right. So set.
Yeah, through Diamond, right?
Yeah.
Also, you guys, here another bit of news. I'm trying to pull it up. We should be in the next Filbo distribution catalog. So I've talked with Philip Russert. I think it's his last name, Philip Russert.
Mm-hmm.
Philip.
Yeah.
And we didn't make it in the first one, but we should be in the second Filbo distribution catalog.
That's
So
great.
What product? What book?
I haven't decided exactly yet because we're gonna. I don't want to say this too much because people listening are like, "Oh, what do you mean I missed it?" We're gonna re-offer some stuff, and then we're going to offer the same thing for that month that we're offering Diamond, obviously, but then we're gonna offer them some of the stuff that they missed as well.
That's good news.
Yeah. So hopefully
New to
we'll
you.
catch. No, that's right. Hopefully we'll catch some of those retailers that
Didn't see it the first go
they
around.
didn't see us the first time around. So that's kind of the idea.
Yeah, and being the second catalog, maybe he'll have more retailers to,
Yeah.
Uh,
John's Longbot says hello. What's up, John? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
John's Longbox sounds like a pirate name.
Yeah, it does.
All right, John's Longbox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Long John's box.
Johnny
No.
Longbox.
Johnny Longbox. All right. Page numbers on comic books.
Well, they need to go in order. That's the key.
I brought samples. Where do I want to start?
I'll be right back.
I didn't bring any classic stuff. I should have brought classic stuff too. I did find a note to myself in one of them though that I left there when I was reading it. So, all right. Well, I don't have any classic stuff. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I bet I can pull something up digitally. So, when you think about what comes to your mind when you think about page numbers? John's Longbox says, "Arr!"
Oh.
David Rio says, "Hello. What's up, David? We were just talking about you.
Hey,
What
David.
comes to mind when you think about page numbers in comics? Anything?
making
Yes.
it through the story.
All right. Tom
So
just
I'm-
did yes.
I'm reading
Oh,
the Secret
okay. Yeah.
Wars
Yeah. There you
section.
go, Tom.
So I got the Secret Wars trade right here. and they take the page numbers off the original comic books and they put them down here at the bottom in the center.
Yep.
In the typed font, which
Yep.
did not happen in the original comics.
No.
No.
I'm trying to. I bought
So,
some.
and that's a pain to do in the old days.
Uncovering art, right? So somebody had to go digitally fix all those spots where there's
which is
I say no. I don't think you should put page numbers on the comic pages.
Why?
Why? Because I don't think you need it. Why? Why are they there?
Wait, I have never heard of someone in the printing business say you don't need page numbers.
No, now what? It makes it easier for somebody else. Like my personal stuff, my personal books, I don't put page numbers on them.
Here's the thing, though. Are we talking about just regular comics or graphic novels or just everything?
Yeah, either.
Well,
here's the thing for me is that I like page numbers on everything because when I get the proofs in from the printer, it's an easy way for me to tell if pages are out of order and if I screwed up my
that's right. I'm talking about like from the reader's point of view, like from our not from being a printer's point of view. Yeah, the page numbers make it easier for me. I can just open the book, flip through it, make sure 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So from a printer's point of view, but from the I'm taking this like from the reader's point of view. So I don't put page numbers on my.
I think from a reader's point of view, hey, did you see that picture on page, or did you see that piece of art on page 7?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never said that to one person in my entire comic book career. So
but if you're sitting next to them, you might.
Friends, because Mike and I have the same friends.
I'm starting a fight. Somebody had to start a fight here, so I'm.
Hey, Roland, I really like what you did on page 6, that second panel.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
I like what you did, and so that way.
You mean the one with the big splash page where the guy's punching the guy in the face and he's flying back like that? Yeah, that page.
I missed that. What
See,
page
it's
is
a
that?
reference.
Yeah, that one.
I missed that. What page is that, Tommy?
Well, you open it and you go 2.
No, otherwise it's like talking to one of my parents. That thing you did, I really liked it on that page that I read.
Yeah, to me,
it was in the middle.
It's not a novel.
Right, it's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, kind of in the middle.
But where are they supposed to be located? See, here's the problem with people from the printing. We're getting there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Here's a problem from the printing point of view. People don't put them in the right places to start off with.
No.
Either it needs to be in the bottom, dead center, right? Or it needs to be on the outside of each page on that corner. Well, you get people that are messed up and they think they know what they're doing, and they'll put them on the inside, so they'll be in the gutter, right?
Right. We call those people stupid, though.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That's a lesson that you learn once.
It happens all the time. So that messes up when you're doing like a big compilation of stuff, because what if somewhere or another somebody did a 21-page book and then they start the next one and now those pages are on the wrong because you're trying to run them together.
That's just 1 or 2 bad apples,
No, it happens all the time. It's not 1 or 2. It happens literally all the time.
They're wrist slap.
Yeah, on the edge. That's where,
right.
But
so this is from Demon's Tales.
Or the middle.
And David Rios just said that he liked the page numbers from Demon's Tales. And if you look at them, that's
like that they're stylized. With
they're stylized.
That's pretty cool.
And
actually, I think maybe in the first I think the first issue of Zomboy, I did do the Zomboy mask, and I put the numbers in the middle. And then I think the second one, I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore.
So here's a problem I noticed with these, though, just flipping through that. They're all on the right-hand side. So
so even the left-hand page. You're
correct.
Yeah, your even numbers on the wrong side.
Because you weren't paginating as you were drawing it.
No.
So was this Thomas calling you half stupid? Apparently.
But that's why I think it should
go
with the lettering
once. But then Roland gives as good as he gets, so it's.
It should go with the lettering stage, so that it's at the last point when
That's why I think if I was to do page numbers, I'd stick them in the middle, so that way if it ever got jammed in, if you. If you were doing a book where somebody said, "Hey, send me 10 pages of something," I'm going to put them in with my thing. That way, they're not getting all screwed up. So just stick them in the middle on the bottom.
Except, here's the problem with that, and this is probably not something we thought about 40 years ago. All right, but it's true that they say you learn when you teach. I have learned so much being a teacher of this stuff. Is that one of the things we when we're looking at a comic, right? you always are going to have, right? So this is page 1. This is page 2, 3. So no matter how many pages you flip, you're always going to have the even numbered page and the odd numbered page.
Yep.
So I even tested it out. I picked up some Malibu comics, right? And now Tom, way back in, was the guy who was in charge of pagination. If you look at Malibu comics, you're going to have a page of comics here. Then you're going to have an ad here, right? You're like, oh no, that messes up my even odd thing. Nope, because if you flip the page, the other ad is right here, and the other page is right there.
Yeah, you just
So
stuck
if you
out 2
tore that
pages.
ad out, you've got
Yeah,
even odd. So it maintains your even odd. So
DC does that too with their comics of that era.
Yeah. So you need that because when you're writing, right? And I know Tom does this as well. When you're writing, you're thinking of what's the final element on my odd numbered page?
Yeah.
Because I need that to be a page turner.
Right. That's what flips you over to the and you don't want to do that on the even thing because it looks silly.
No.
That's why you don't end a scene on the even page because it kind of screws up the.
Yeah, well, it's the surprise of turning the page.
Yes.
Right.
Well, and I use this book. You guys will know this. My students don't often know. I use this book as an example of a writer who did a bad job because of not of page numbers, but of splash page placement. But all right, you look at this page 1, and then what happens? Your eye goes immediately there, right?
Yep.
Right. I'm not going to read page 2.
Yeah, the splash page should be on page 2. So I goofed up when I wrote this a long time ago. I didn't know any different. And Tom probably looked at it and said, "Man, what an idiot!" But art's already done. Keep going.
Yeah, you can't fix it.
Right? Yeah. So
you're stuck because it's not like the modern era where you can just sort of Photoshop everything around.
Right. Yeah.
You have to figure out how to draw another page to get it in there to push it back one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, one of the worst mistakes I ever did. This was probably around this same time. Is Stephen Butler and I, did and I think Tommy. No, that was Ken Brandt. Sorry. We did a book called Cray, and Stephen was telling me I want some double page spreads. So, like me, I'm trying to give him what he wants. So I write, and I can't remember it exactly, but it was something like 14 and 15 double page spread. 16 page, 17 and 18 double page spread.
Yeah.
And then when I got to look at it, I'm like, wait, that doesn't work.
It's about a half a dozen times a week. We're having to fight with folks at Kablam about people putting doubles on the wrong pages.
Yeah.
And then it's either that. See, this was going to be in whenever we do the Thomas's nitpick thing.
Okay. Well, hold on to it then.
Yeah, it's that, and then people not giving you enough pages, and they order a 24-page book, and they say, "No, I've only got 22 pages, so just print that."
Don't print the other 2.
That doesn't work. You got to have 2 more pages, and they go, "No, I don't. No, it's only 22. I only want 22." And it's like, okay, they'll be blank. Oh, I don't want blank pages in there. And I'm like, well, put something there. And then I have to just go, we got a list of stuff, and we said, why don't you you got some sketch pages? You did some sketches of these character sketches, put those. And they go, oh, that's a great idea. Like, why do I got to put your book together?
Those are basically like young people, right? That we're doing their first comic or their
no.
Second comic, isn't it?
No.
What?
Wow.
No. You don't want to know. I can't talk too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can talk off the air. No, there's plenty of fun. It's just that you're doing it for such a long time, and then you get, people just get distracted, and all of a sudden they turn in their stuff, and they're just doubles are all wrong, or they'll fix one double and it throws another double off, and we're like, no, you can't do that either. Because the other double was right, and I'm like, well, it was right until you stuck something in front of the one that was wrong, and now you knocked the one on the back end off.
If you, as a printer, reach out to me and said, "Hey, you got a couple blank pages," I understand why. Because even as a kid, right, I was taking 8.5 by 11 pages. I was folding them in half and making a comic book, and I understood that I had to, if I didn't put anything on that page.
I have a little document that when I send to people, I tell them to do that when they start. We go back and forth 2 or 3 times, and then finally I have that document that has that written. And I said, take a piece of paper, fold it in half where the staples would go. How many comic pages do you have? And they're right back 4. And then I say, There you go. So you got to put something there. It's in 4-page increments, not a trade.
Well,
It's pages.
We often say that anybody can make comics now, and that's the problem by saying that everybody can make comics now.
Right.
Because they don't understand what they're doing.
The thing about it is that there is a language to the comics. There are demands of the form, and there are,
it's a pamphlet. You get it.
It's been codified for decades that this is what a comic book is.
It's a saddle. And some people we've got some Google documents that we send to people that, in websites that will, say this, a saddle stitch book is a sheet of paper folded in half. So you've got 4 pages. You take 2 pieces of paper and fold it in half. That's 8 pages. So you can't, that can't be 7. Just because you only drew 7.
Well, that's the thing too. We would get creators who would say they wanted to do a 34-page comic.
Right.
Well, no, because it's got to be divided by 4. And so
there's 32. I got to print 40.
Or somebody wants to draw some extra pages, and you go, well, okay. Not only do I have to pay you to draw those extra pages, now we have to print those extras. So now the book went from a 24-page book to a 28-page book, and so that cost a little more money. So
we've even had creators who came to us with books that were an odd size, like not standard comic book size, whatever. And we would always say, okay, that's great. Where is the retailer going to put it?
Right.
Go to your local retail store. Figure out where he's going to put a 9x12 comic.
So I had a friend one time. He printed his book instead of like this. He printed it like this.
Oh, right?
And I told him, I said, don't do that. Don't do that. And he says, why? He goes, we want to do it. I'm like, because the retailer has no place to put it, right? Their shelf is made to hold comics and magazines. And if yours is going to be on the shelf like this, that's what they're going to see.
We tell the folks when we do that. Now, of course, we can't staple on that short side because the paper's not long enough, right?
Right.
But we say if you want to do a calendar style, you can, but at least do the cover upright, so that way it would look like a regular comic book. If you're going to put them in amongst other comics, at least the rest of the book could be calendar style, long ways. But at least now the trades we can do that because we glue bind the trades, so the trades can be big wide things. But but the others, at least if you're going to do the calendar style thing, do the front cover up and
so
down.
do you think that the internet kids who are doing digital comics, then when it comes time to print it as a book, that they've screwed up their size because they haven't thought about the secondary stage?
Yeah, and they also do things at screen res too, like 72 dots and they start sending us those, and it's like, our rips that we have on the Fireys, they do a really good job at fixing stuff, but if something is super bitty, low res like that, it's gonna look like poop.
Right.
Because it looks great. Well, that's all we got. And I'm like, well, I can't. Barry Gregory, my business partner, he says, we don't make magic here. You've heard him say that before, I think.
You can make a 4x6 comic.
It's not magic. It's not magic. We can't. We're not wizards.
We can turn this into an ash can for you.
Yeah. Yeah. You can sure make it really tiny.
Yeah. Manus Pop says, just read Cat and Mouse Vipers #1. Nice start. Oh, thanks, Pops. And did the colors not look awesome, Pops? Thank you, Pops. Glad to hear that. Tank Ferret says, back to Dinnerland. Like, share, hit the bell, and stay magnificent. Thank you, Tank Ferret. Kasisi said, I also always mess up the splash pages. And then he said, LOL, you just mentioned the splash pages. Pops says, a very nice book. Thank you, Pops. Appreciate it very much. And I'm excited to say, Pops, that Jose is already flying through inks. I don't think he's got any for you yet, Roberta, but he's already flying through inks on issue 2. So
getting there, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we talked to him last week.
Oh, nice. David A. Scooter said Vipers looked and read great. Thank you so much, David.
You.
Yes. glad
I'm
to.
so excited. I just got that in the mail. Thank you, Roland.
Oh, you
and
did?
thank you, Thomas.
Yay!
Yay, I got them.
Yeah.
They look great.
Oh, I was very,
Vipers,
very.
I'm
yeah.
so proud of it. It looks so good.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And that I think that the foil cover for Vipers is one of the best.
Cool.
The just the design, the layout that that Angelo did, I think was just perfect for it. Yeah. So Pop said I like Twilight Grim too. Pop's got him a couple of extra books as well. So and he goes, I still have 2 more to read. So there you go. Thank you, Pops. Glad to hear it. You know, and that's really, guys, what this is all about. We love to make them, but the folks who read them, we want them to enjoy them. We want them to be able to say, you know, this looked and read great. So thank you. That's
and then nitpick them. Tell us where the page number should have gone.
right. Yeah. Tell us where the page number should go. So I have a whole bunch of examples here. And so I'm going to start with like DC here. This is DC Primer. You guys probably heard us talking about this.
Yes.
Not too long ago. So I ordered it and read it, enjoyed it. Like the graphic novel that Tom mentioned earlier, this is done at the bottom of the page, right?
Right. Because it's an original too. It's not a collection of comics, so it's just it's an original thing.
So it's all of it, you know. And of course, it skips the pages that have art.
Yeah,
all the way to the
I'm okay with that too.
Yeah. Heroes Union. Y'all familiar with Heroes Union?
Yep. Comics.
Yeah.
Chris Nye inked it.
Yep, Chris Nye. Oh man, I've been hollering at that guy, trying to get him to do some work for us. Love his style. This is done, for those of you who don't know, the co-plotter, scripter, Roger Stern, penciler Ron Friends, inkers, Sal Buscema and Chris Nye, cover artist Ron Friends and Brett Breeding. This has got folks that you know. This one, no page numbers anywhere, right?
Right.
And these are so I wanted to bring this out because I wanted to show that these guys, you know, are I'm not gonna call them old timers, but they're veterans, and they don't have it on theirs either. But I also have
that would scare me to death if I was the editor.
They're probably not the one who didn't do it. It's probably the people who put the book together for them in the design process.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah, it's not Ron Friends and sitting there debating page numbers.
Yeah.
No. No page numbers for Walt either. Right? Nowhere at all.
Right.
No,
So,
I think I remember page numbers in the individual issues of those.
Well, that might be the case. I did not
them off for the collection.
I was gonna say I did not buy the individual issues.
But it looks like there's really hardly any space down at the bottom to put a page number.
Well, so you're right. So they couldn't put them like right there, right? But they could put them in the traditional like corners, right? And inside.
Yeah, they could do that.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they don't though, because that's an IDW book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So another older one here. All right. Well, I got 2 here. I got one of Dave Sims' phone books. Page numbers at the bottom, right
there,
right there in the center.
In the middle.
In the middle. I don't remember how he did the individual comics. I don't know if they had page numbers on them or not. And then we have Bone. Right? You guys know Bone.
Yep.
So again, page numbers, of course, not here where there's a bleed, right? But there's a page number there.
And those are the recolored issues too, because
these are
page numbers.
Yeah, I don't remember. These were much handier for me to get than my my individual issues.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful looking book though.
Oh yeah. Now Sithra, has anybody heard of Sithra?
I had a touch of that once.
Jason Brubaker. It's a good looking book. I'll just stop there. It's a good looking book. But no page numbers in here at all. Now this is
bleeds though.
A lot of bleeds. Almost the entire thing bleeds, right? I don't know how well y'all can see that. The whole thing, right?
You'd have to reverse out the page.
Wait. There are page numbers at the very end here.
That's weird. Well, he wanted to make sure you got through the back.
That's right.
part of it.
Yeah. Well, it ends. Here's what I don't like. Look how thick this is. A hardbound,
It's
right?
huge.
Right.
It's a hardbound thing. Look at the last words on there.
Really?
No, you don't want that. Not in the
I don't
hardcover.
want that.
No, you got to take that off.
Yeah. Only Death Can Save Us by Russ Leach and other people. No page numbers. Now Russ Leach is he's got very 1970s Marvel style artwork in here.
Right.
Good stuff, right? So he's he's trained in the classics, but no page numbers.
So some of the books, like the indie books, where the creator is going to get the galleys to proof, I would imagine that they go through it as a secondary editor to make sure everything's in the right order. Because that's what I would do if I had a creator book like that.
Yeah, if Dinosaurs for Hire when Dinosaurs for Hire next one comes out, you're going to go through it and make sure they're all in the right order.
Right, but I'm also going to put page numbers on it too, because I'm not an idiot and I don't like the anxiety of sending a book to the printer without page numbers. Because there's that moment where you send the book out, and before you get it back, where I am just filled with anxiety about what's the book going to look like, what did I forget to do. When I open up to page 2, am I going to see the mistake that 13 people ahead of me should have caught?
Right.
And
you got to also remember
spelling mistake.
You're sending the book as a PDF that's already paginated.
Right.
Most of the printers, including us, if you're going to send us a PDF, whatever order you send us the PDF is how we're going to print the book. So, if you didn't proof it ahead of time, then.
So, Tommy, do you remember the very first thing I printed with you guys? Do you remember what I was trying to do with you? I was trying. So when you
were trying to trick me into doing something.
No. When you print a comic, right? It's just on pages that you fold together, right? I was trying to plan them out like this, right? This page goes here, and this page goes here.
We get that from people trying to do. We call it printer spreads. People try to send us those too.
Yeah. And we had to do that at Malibu. Now that was a
right. But that's how you. That's how
I didn't do that. But what was his name?
Even with the bigger presses now, you don't. Or the traditional presses, you don't have to do that anymore because their rips will shoot the pages out on the So it'll marry. It's called marrying the pages together. So it just automatically it imposes. That's the process of imposing all the book together. And it's an automatic thing now. You don't have to worry about it.
But I remember some big trades in the 80s and 90s before everything was digital that had been recalled, or you'd get a 12-issue miniseries that was collected, and there'd be issues out of order or pages out of order and books had to be recalled and reprinted or whatever. And that's where my anxiety goes, because I think it's if you're printing a 196 page book and suddenly you get it and 2 signatures are out of order, you're just screwed. You look like an idiot.
So, Tom, you probably don't remember this.
Is this where I screwed up and look like an idiot?
No. This, you know what? It was probably our fault because of the way we numbered them. But there is a misprint, and let me make sure the issue here. Can't remember which issue it's in.
Tom wants to know. Look, you can tell. He's like, "What did
I
do?"
No! As soon as I tell him, he's gonna go, "Oh, well, that's why." Yeah, and
that was a thing that you were supposed to catch. It was a Matrix kind of thing. He did that on purpose.
I know that in one issue of Planet of the Apes, I was supposed to have an overlay printed on the artwork. There was a flashback with 4 panels stacked and the main panel in the center, and I forgot to cut in the 4 flashback panels. So there's just the main panel in the center and then 4 empty squares.
Oh, empty spots around this.
So I did that, and I didn't even catch that in the blue line proof. That's how stupid I am.
Oh my god!
Did it go to print that way?
Oh, it sure as hell did.
Oh, wait. Did y'all try to correct it, or you just said, "Well, it is what it is"?
It is what it is.
Oh yeah.
Well, once you have all those copies, there's not.
Yeah, Malibu was on a shoestring especially in those days. You couldn't go back to press.
No.
I don't remember which issue it was in now.
Sorry, so tell me something else I did wrong.
No, I'm not blaming you.
No, I was also going to say that, as far as people, paginating their pages, and you send them to the printer and you number the pages wrong, right? Like, because you send them all, like if you send a big PDF and they're all, paginated, meaning that you put cover, inside cover,
right,
1, 2, 3, 4, back cover, or inside back cover, right? In just a big PDF, we kind of print. But now if you send the pages separately and you still, put the wrong page number on a page, but you numbered page 5, you named the whatever you sent us as page 5, and you put a 6 on that page, right? And then you put page 6, and you put 5. You wrote the wrong, or you named the files wrong. We're still going to just print them in the order that they're named, right? The file names. So it's still, we do look through everything, but we're mostly looking through your printer's mostly looking through. Your printer is not your editor. Your printer is the person that's just trying to make sure that nothing's getting trimmed off on the sides and the colors are right, and there's not any roller marks, and there's not any, screwy stuff. But if you misspelled everything, which y'all know that Roland knows I can't spell, but look, I got misspellings all the way through all my books. That's not, we do catch those things, where people with the page numbers are wrong, and then we'll go back and look at the files and say, no, that says page 4, that says page 5. You got the wrong numbers on them. And if we can catch them ahead of time, we'll ask the person, and they'll go, oh no, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I almost printed 100 books that way.
So this is the one that has the error in it. So
that wasn't one that I need.
No. So if you'll notice, right, we started right here on page 1. All right, we go through here. I love this double page spread, by the way.
Nice.
2 and 3,
nice,
right?
It's on the correct pages.
Yep. Go through here, and then there's a backup story, right? That also has page 1.
Page 1. What's page 1 of the backup story?
Yeah.
We see that all the time.
Here's the problem.
That really confuses us too as a printer. When
our page 9s got flipped.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so I did that.
The page 9 in the backup story, it should be 9 in the main story in the page. So you're reading along here, right? You're like, yeah, Tommy can't read. You're like, what the heck is this page? I don't understand. It has nothing to do with this other story at all, right? So. Yeah, but it was one of those things like, well, what are you going to do? I think it was selling around 4,000
I take full responsibility for that because that was my
job. So yeah, there was nothing you could do at that point in time, right? Because they're all printed, they're all gone, they're all printed. Out the door. By the
they're already at the comic shop. It's already done.
And here's the thing too is I don't know if this qualifies as good or bad. But I don't remember getting letters about it.
No, I don't either.
I was
reading the book. I just skipped right through it. Apparently, I was like, "This is interesting."
You have to write your own letter after.
I only remember 1 or 2 people, period, saying anything at all about it. Because someone said something to me once. They said, "Hey, was one of those pages out of order?" And I said, "Yeah, they were." That was it.
That was Tom's fault.
Well, what the reader or the watchers need to realize is when the printer is done, they send X amount of copies to most of the time to the distributor, and then the rest of the copies go to the publisher, right? Yeah, so the publisher is getting them at the same time the distributor is getting them, and they're turning them around, and they're already in the comic shop by the time the publisher opens the box.
Yes,
and it's like the publisher's like, stop.
Well, And also, and Tom, maybe you can back me up on this. When you're in the office and you get the books, you get them like this. You go, oh, cool! Look how good this looks. Oh man, this looks so great, right? This
I'll read it
so
tonight
great.
when I'm on
yeah,
the
yeah.
on the
You're not
when I'm
looking
at the
through
house.
it with a fine tooth comb. You're
Right.
just kind
You're
of
not-
flipping through it to make sure there's not a big blob on a page, right? To go,
You're
oh
not
no,
an
look at that.
archaeologist. Because
Who did that?
in theory, you looked at the book when the original
How
art
many
came in.
times? Yeah.
In theory, you looked at the book when you were proving the coloring.
Yes.
In theory, you looked at the book when it was being paginated, and then when Eric Senna would do the pagination for the
Right.
printer, he would call you over and say, is this right? Is this what you want
And
to do?
that's
'Cause
your approval.
he was the other stopgap for proving that the color stuff, not the black and white stuff. And then we would get the printer proof, the blue line,
The
and
blue line.
we would look it through again, and then we would get the printed copies.
And I would have to, as the editor, I would have to sign off on every single page there.
You have to
I
put your
think we
initials
stopped-
on it.
Yeah, my initials on every single page.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we stopped that after a while. Just
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but I do remember early on having to sign off on every page, every art page that we had, not the ads.
I don't think that was a Malibu thing, though. I think that was a printer thing.
No, that's normal
okay.
for most
Yeah.
printers.
Because it does. I mean, it sounds.
It's a scary thing. Yeah, when you get a new client that wants something printed, and they've never printed anything before, and they go, "Yeah, we need 500 copies," and you're like, "Oh no, please. How about 10? How about 10? Get 10.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, we need 500. We're going to a show," and I'm like, "No, get 10. Just get 10. Make sure this looks the way that you want it to look before you print a 500."
Right. Yeah, do like a test.
Do one. Print
yeah,
one.
one.
That's the cool
You're not
thing about
saving
those. Just print one.
If-
Print one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're not saving any money, right? If you do just
No.
10.
No,
and
I mean
then-
there is a we've got a price break at a certain point, but yeah, if you're printing just the normal amount to go to a show or something like that, you're not going to be within that.
Yeah,
you never sell
the only-
500 at a show.
the only
Because
Oh,
thing-
you might be saving on shipping or something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
shipping.
but right
David
now
Nace-
shipping costs way too much anyway, so you're not going to save in on that either.
Just say it was a choose your own adventure.
That's what it is. That's my excuse. I was ahead of the game.
Yeah, Tom was coming up with a new kind of comic book.
I
Well, the cool
invented
thing-
it.
the cool thing about this is, we're working on an omnibus, and I can fix it in the omnibus, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you should do it backwards, and you should mess it up in the omnibus too.
It's a thank you, Roland, for fixing my work.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, all right. So page numbers are kind of disappearing. Do we have anybody have theories as to why? Why do we think this is happening?
Well,
probably because comics go to trade, or they it's just sometimes it's too much of a headache to keep up with putting those little things at the bottom. I mean, I personally don't do a comic that doesn't have a page number. I mean, and they don't ask for it. They don't not ask for it, but it's just something because it makes it easy on me when they want to do a correction. It's like, well, Mike, that's on page 7. Can you fix this on the third panel? Here is we misspelled this. Can you fix it?
So do you do it, Mike, without even if they don't say anything about it? Do you, as a letterer, letter all the pages?
Because it makes things so much easier. Because it's like Tommy says, you should do a PDF of it, but they're not looking. They're actually looking at the screen, and they're looking there in that corner, and they're going to tell me, okay, we screwed up when we gave you the script. Right. Can you fix these words for us on page 8, third panel? Can you do that for us?
And they don't mean the PDF page.
No, they don't need. They're looking at that circle. They're looking at where's that, because we're used to that. I think a lot of people that, especially who read comics, we are, whether we don't think they're useful or not, we are used to it, because I think page numbers are also one of the things that are the language of printing. We like to keep up where things are, and with comics, you have the circled number in the corner of the comic that just that's page whatever. And so I do it automatically. I've never been asked to take them off.
Okay,
and
then that was the next question.
If they ask me to then, hey, we're going to do this as a trade, can you modify them? It's like, yeah, it's easy as can be. I've already got them set up. All I have to do is just change the number.
Yeah.
And then if we want to have consecutive numbers now, as opposed to having 1 through 22, and now we're going.
Now it's 1 through 160 or whatever.
Exactly. I just change it, and it's easy because I've already got it on the template.
Well, I stole this idea from our buddy Barry. Barry, he knew he was taking his John Amon the Amazing Man to trade, and so on his first issue began with page 1, right? His second issue began with like page 26, right?
Yeah, he just kept the number going.
And so I stole the idea for Trump. So if this is number 4, right? So if you get Trump's number 4, you see it starts on page 71, right? And so
that makes me think I screwed up somehow.
Well, it's 71, 70. It's sequential. 71, 72, 73.
Yeah, but it sounds like pages 1 through 70 fell out.
Yeah. Now, I like, Tom, I think everybody's right. I think Tom's right. I think Roland's right. But, and I think I'm right too. But that's I do like that idea of just keep the number going. That's pretty cool. But Tom is right. Cool people are going to look at it and go, I don't get it.
Well, okay, so maybe, but my argument would be how many in a miniseries, how many people are buying let's just look at the numbers. How many people are buying number 4 that didn't buy 1, 2, and 3?
Right.
Oh, true. Yeah, but how many people might pick up issue number 4 and see that number at the bottom and go, I don't get it. Why is the pages all funny? And then just put the book back down.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't put any numbers, and you don't have to worry about it.
I can see completely how you do that, why you would do that. But from a point of view, if I bought all 4 issues, more than likely, I'm not buying the trade, though.
Right.
And so then
all
4 books look kind of funny then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Tom, our Mike was right, too. What do you think, Roberta?
I think that, it's probably less helpful to have it going forward, jumping numbers, because I would think that it feels complete 1 through the end, no matter what book number you pick up. And I think there might be a little tension if you look at page 72 and you're looking at your book, you're like, wow, I guess I'm missing a lot, huh? Maybe psychologically you want,
it might make you
an
go,
extra push over the edge
to see what. Yeah.
Maybe.
What about it, chat? What do you got? There's a handful of you guys watching. What do you guys think?
I see there's just different ways to,
You guys chime in and tell us your thoughts about that number.
Why do you think page numbers are disappearing?
My belief is I think they're lazy. I think that
I'm not lazy. I just don't want to put them on there. I don't like them on there.
I think in like for Tommy and Mike, who are individual creators doing their own books, it's a personal choice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's whatever makes them comfortable. But I think for corporate comics, it's like one more thing you got to pay a guy for.
Right.
No. No, I see what you said. That goes back to your question. Why are they disappearing? Because I may have to pay somebody $1 to do it.
Right. So, but I can see Roland and I know a guy in accounting who would go, well, it's $1. It's $1 a page, and that's 20 books a month, and suddenly that's almost $700 a month, and you multiply that by 12 months, and then that's close to $10,000. And then do you want to spend $10,000 on page numbers?
Just for page numbers, right?
No, boss, I don't want to do that.
Well, but, I think it's also because of digital. I think digital. People are getting accustomed to seeing things in digital, and so they don't look at them as page.
Right.
I can mention something that irritates the crap out of me.
I don't know
I'm reading a
that's
bigger digital comic, and I can't finish it. I have to trust the digital bookmark, and I would much rather have a page number to look at and say, yeah, I'm on 52. Okay, that's cool.
Right.
And in my head, I know where I'm at. But I don't totally trust that my device will remember and not reset and get me lost in my story, and I have to.
How do you go back to the page
flip
where
through
you're
it
at?
again?
Yeah,
it's irritating.
You can finish a 22, like an issue.
Yeah,
right? Like
an issue is easy,
24 pages. But if you're reading something longer, if you're reading, if you're reading, this.
Yeah, you don't want to sit there and click forward. Where did I leave off? Forward.
What page is this? I don't know what page I left off on.
Yeah, but
then
the
page that leads off the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, you got to in the physical copies, you can always put a bookmark in there, and I've got bookmarks now because for that very reason. Is like there's
like
no
a barbarian.
Like a barbarian. That's right.
But like webtoons, there's no such thing as a page number. I mean, it's
That's
like
right, you're just scrolling.
You're scrolling like we used to see
one
the
big
film
long
strips in
continuous
school.
thing.
Yeah,
it's one continuous thing. Instead of hearing the beat to turn the thing, we're scrolling, and there's no page number because a lot of those guys, they're actually trying to utilize the format.
Yeah.
So the pages are long wise, and so it's almost like a weird animation because you're scrolling up, and the picture just keeps on going, and so you can't translate that into a page number, and so.
Right.
A lot of these guys, people are becoming unattuned to it because of how prevalent, the younger generation is going.
See, that makes more sense because of the format. But
because then if you're trying to convert it to a page for a printed comic, that's when you run into trouble because
you can't do it.
It's just a long scroll.
Yeah. Several comments here now. David A. Scura says, I think it's a little too unusual for me, and I think he means starting the page like I did with Trump, starting the page on 71. I think that's what he's talking about. Pop says we have Atomic Annie live music on the network after this at 10 p.m. Cassisi says, I think today people consume similar media without page numbers. Yep, which is what Mike was saying. I also think that some people rebel and don't care to keep the classic structure.
Yeah, there's that too.
I think there's that too. Oh, I'm not putting page numbers.
You old man.
That's right. Numbers. And I think thought balloons are similar. I'm not going to put a thought balloon in. That's what the old people did, right? I don't want that.
They can't make me.
That's right. It's mine. I'm going to do what I want to do, right?
That's right. That's why I'm calling them. I'm not calling them thought balloons and word balloons. I'm calling them speech bubbles.
Speech bubbles. I hear that all the time.
My own language now.
Speech bubbles and mind bubbles.
Yes.
No, we hear people call them that all the time.
Oh,
yeah,
wait.
They do.
Shoot, Tim TK from our Tuesday night stream called it
the word hole.
Rios, if you're still around, what does he call them? Brain bullets, I think he's waiting.
Brain bullets.
Professor X, right? He called them brain bullets. I think that's what he called them. I was like, that's great. I love that.
Brain bullets.
Pop says I proofread cheaper than that. LOL. Full pages. Cassisi says exactly, Mike.
There you
go. Pop says 10 cents a page, rolling for proofreading, and I'll throw the page number in for free.
Oh, that's a good deal.
There you go.
Yeah. Gray Wolf says brain farts.
I like that too.
Professor X's brain farts. That sounds like a joke book.
It does. So this is a good question from David A. Scuderiz. He says, do you think how corporate comics now have fewer pages has anything to do with it?
That's good.
So people don't know that there's only a 16-page book rather than a 24-page book.
Yeah.
Y'all remember several years ago,
you feel gypped, right?
Yeah. DC made the move to cut down to 18 pages, and everybody yelled and screamed and yelled, so they bumped it up to 20.
Yeah.
But what had happened is they had cut it down from 22 to 18. So they still got away with it, right? They went from 22 to 18. Everybody yelled and screamed. So they said,
still charged the same amount, right?
Still charged the same amount.
Yeah.
Yep. And they went back up to 22.
I think that's a valid
I do too.
point.
Very good
by David, because it's a way to not know how little you're getting for the money that you're spending.
Yeah, take those page numbers off. You won't know it's an 18-page book.
And that does sound like a corporate thing that somebody in the
that does seem like
room is looking at going. Just not tell them.
Yeah, take the page numbers off. They'll never know.
That's right.
It really does sound corporate.
You could just see us being in that kind of meeting where somebody comes in with a stack of paper going, we'll save this amount of money every year.
Yeah. One less sheet of paper that you got to print, and then four less pages that you got to pay the art team to do the book.
Here's the research I've done to show that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I commissioned a study.
Yeah.
That costs all the money that you save.
Page numbers are BS. They're ruining the industry.
Yeah.
Oh man,
keep them disorganized. That's the way to go.
What do y'all think about the page numbers where they're just a little circle thing on the side, or you like a circle, or do you like the one Like I think my old Tomboy one where I used his mask. I think
Spider-Man used to just kind of cut off the corners.
Yeah, just a little cubby corner thing.
Yeah,
I like that, but I really like it if you do like what Roland did with Demon's Tales. If you can find a way to make the page number sort of look integral to the art or the theme of the art.
Yeah, I like that too.
I think that's really making the best use of the idea that comics do things that other things can't.
Yeah, I really think in my old Zomboys, I did the mask. I took his mask and I put the page numbers in the mask.
Yeah, I like that. But also,
for those who don't know, that's kind of the shape of the main character's head.
Yeah. But I'm also just happy with typeset page numbers too. It doesn't, it's not
at the bottom somewhere.
As long as it's there,
or full page spread kind of thing. You just leave it off.
I'm not a page number bigot. I just care that they're there.
Yeah, I do think it's for me. I do think it's important that they're there because I think, particularly as a creative person, I need to be able to say, "Hey, Roberto, on page 13, this happens, right?" Or maybe this is the wrong color.
Well, the thing is, you're not doing it for the reader at that point, though, which is fine. No. You're doing it. It's a technical thing.
It's a reference point.
But Tom, if you and I have read the same book, I'm like, oh, cool, Tom. Did you see on Primer on page 42 when she did this? And you're like, Roland, my pages aren't numbered.
Right. What's also,
I mean, this is a thick book, right? If I'm going to try to tell you anything about Primer, right? I mean,
it goes back to novels too. It's like if you're talking about a novel with somebody, did you see the scene in chapter 6? Did you see the scene on page 122? What do you think of that? It's like that. So you need those reference points, not just to talk to other creative people who are in the process, but just to talk to your friends.
Yeah, but see, a novel is full of words already.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits with a novel. A comic book is a bunch of drawings. It has words on it, but then all of a sudden now you're even sticking something else on there that's going to take your eye away.
Your comics are 8 pages, though, right?
I mean, we don't see page numbers in movies that we watch. Can you go to page 5 of this movie and see what happened during that scene? Like,
no, but on Amazon, it'll tell me it has a scroll at the bottom.
I know. I knew you were going to go there, Tom.
And we're also not accustomed to having page numbers on a movie. I mean, we're accustomed to it in print.
Right.
It's an aesthetic. Really also, in addition to this being references, it's the language of comics.
Yeah.
If we're wanting our comic to look a certain way, like I do, I mean, I want my comic to look a certain way. The comics that I grew up on, the stuff that I enjoy, I go for traditional stuff. The having a little circle with the page number in it and the quarter is just as important as a thought balloon or a brain bolt or a speech bubble or anything like that, because it's the language of comics and what the burst or the indicia with the copyright and the trademark.
Because for me, that's absolutely true. I don't know what the actual number is, but there's like a dozen things that go into a comic book that are not the art and the story that make it a comic book. And it's the logo, it's the trade dress, it's what Mike said, it's the indicia, it's the page numbers, it's the use of word balloons and stuff like that. It's all of those things, that dozen or 15 things that are the language of a comic book.
Yeah.
And I need to have most of them.
No, you're right. Absolutely. Agent Cub says, "This is about time you started. Been waiting all day for this." Agent, we're already on page 25
Yes, but we didn't put the 25 on there, so you gotta
pages.
count.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
That's right. Yeah, but you're talking about film earlier, saying we don't have page numbers in film, but we do have episodes, right? You talk about people are constantly talking about episode this in Star Trek or Star Wars, episode this in Friends, right?
But also the thing with movies, you have the opening credits, you have the title, you have the people who do the music, the names of the stars, and at the end you have the end credits, you have the closing music, you have the credits
it's the same people a lot of times.
And then there's sometimes when it switches scenes, it'll go in the deserts of blah blah blah.
Right. And then you'll have a narrator sometimes, and then at the end of the movie, you might have extra scenes that come in between the credits, the end credit scenes. And so those are things that we sort of expect now as part of the language of movies or TV shows.
Yeah. 100%.
And we expect, like in TV, we expect that, that moment where one of the characters goes, oh, and then we cut to commercial. And so,
And then you're streaming, and it's really funny.
yeah, yes, 'cause I'm waiting for the commercial, but they don't come to the commercial. They go right back into
yeah. yeah.
Well, if you didn't have page numbers on there, you can't do the thing that Roland likes to do and put at the bottom and says, "Go back to Cat and Mouse number 3, page 4 to see what happened in blah blah blah."
That's
there
right.
you go.
Yeah.
And if you're doing a dramatic reading
also,
of the comic, it's helpful too.
If you grew up in the 60s and 70s, there were things at the bottom of Marvel and DC Comics where it says story continues after 3rd page.
Right.
Right, they sure did. Like you got to that ad and you're like, dang, I'm so bad, I can't read anymore. It stopped. I'm not gonna flip the page. I know the book has still got like 20 more pages in it, but I'm stopping at the 3rd page.
Oh no, wait, here it is. It's over here. I found it.
Oh, whew, man.
I remember very briefly they had the just on a full page, they had an ad and just a couple of panels across the top.
Yeah, the half page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the half page.
I hated those.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did
I don't know why
too.
they did that. It seemed like it
Sometimes,
always would
sometimes
mess
they
up
would
the
end it on the
flow.
half page. It's like the epilogue. It's like, no,
Yeah.
stop that.
It's like, what the heck?
doing that.
Agent
Stupid
Cub
DC.
says, I like page numbers because sometimes the pages stick together, and without page numbers, sometimes I don't realize I skipped the page. Oh, yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, newsprint used to really stick. You know, the little flaps used to stay together a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. No kidding.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
they weren't trimmed properly, and you'd have the paper would be stuck together.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jim Roland's got one. Look, he's going to pull it out of his hat.
What?
Yeah.
There he is.
Here's one I bought.
Roland's
in
magic
1967.
wall.
No.
See, that's not really when Roland reaches off to the side.
look
There,
at that.
that's not,
It's a
I've
rag
done this before.
copy.
This is just an untrimmed copy. Whoops.
Right.
Yeah. So it's actually it's not even. Oh, I got what? I got 2 of them in here. Oh no, this is just
Even.
an untrimmed cover. Yeah. So like this is just the whole copy that's not.
Not
It's
cut.
not cut. Yeah.
Right.
Not even stapled yet. No staples.
I'll bring it by the office. I'll
But-
fix it for you.
But it right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got the file.
Uh-huh. So, and then at the very bottom as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's a complicated process.
yes, it is.
It is
Yeah.
it's very much.
So, so I think except for David Rio says, "LOL, stuck pages is a big in Lego building. Numbers are key. Big problem in Lego building."
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's
you can
true.
say.
Yeah.
You're putting the spaceship together and you're like, that whole middle section is missing. Oh, they all got stuck together.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
no.
like, wait, it says I should have this built already, but I don't.
Yeah, what are all these extra parts you throwing away?
Agent
Do
Cub
we
says,
have to
"Can I
build-
have it?" No, you can't. Then what? Then what will I have, Agent? If I give this to you, Agent, will I have to use it as an example?
That's right. We bring that up every week.
Well, that was fun. Except for Tommy, I think we're all in agreement that
No,
we should have
no,
page
no,
numbers.
no. That's not true. I don't mind comics with pages. It's not like I'm going to pick up a comic and it
We
doesn't.
just- it's his
You'd rather
choice, though.
not put them on if you didn't have
No,
to.
I'm fine with page numbers being on comics. I'm just talking about for my comics, Now, if I was working for somebody and they wanted me to put and I was lettering it and they said put page numbers on it, I would, of course, I
What if
would.
they
do it.
said nothing?
Your comics are 8 pages, right, Tommy?
Well, it depends on what some of them are. Some of them are 24. The mystery girls, they're all big books. But
Oh,
yeah,
Tommy,
they're-
I think what you should do, Tommy, is I think you should get a little bitty stickers that has 1 through 8 on them. And
Yeah.
say page numbers optional.
there you go.
Sell the page number separately.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to go through in each book and handwrite the
That's,
page
that's
on
an
it.
aftermarket item.
yeah. There you
Instead
go.
of signing it, I'm just going to write it on each one.
Apply your own page numbers.
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine reading a comic with page numbers on there. Don't anybody think that I'm a page number snob. I'm just talking about for my
Why do you
books.
hate page numbers so much, Tommy?
Yeah.
I do find it frustrating that the comics have no page numbers for the reasons that several of you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, y'all's points are
remember
perfectly valid and stuff, but when I'm reading a book that doesn't have page numbers in it, it doesn't mess me up. I still read it the same. It's not screwing me up that it doesn't have page numbers in it.
Yeah. But if you don't finish it, then
Yeah,
Oh, I
then it
finish
does.
it.
See, that's the difference.
yeah, that's right. David Rios said Masterwork Edition includes page numbers.
There we go.
Well, but David, the Masterwork Editions, are they added at the bottom like what we talked about, or are they the original lettered page numbers that they had in the original printing? Do you know that? Yeah. I think they're important. I think they need to be there. I made a mess on my desk over here with all these books. Any other thoughts about page numbers, y'all? That was fun.
Yeah.
It went
like
it
it
went
when they're
longer
drawing.
and deeper than I thought we were going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I know that.
you know, because I knew you guys were all gonna want the page numbers. I was give you my point of view of. I don't really care. I just wanted. We needed to have.
Be a
Are
contrarian.
you
Yeah,
devil's
somebody
advocate?
needed to. It doesn't matter to me. I just don't do it. Maybe because no, and maybe the truth of it is I am lazy.
One
Possibly.
extra step.
There you go. Nobody said anything. So y'all.
One
that's
extra
just what
step.
me like it.
I've
It's
learned
like
not to be
decision.
agreeable.
It was pity. Yeah.
When it comes to page numbers, maybe so.
Yeah.
David said it's missing in the originals. Here's a good question from Agent Cub. Agent Cub says, "Is Silverline going to be distributed through Lunar now that Diamond is about done?"
That's
So
a good question.
it is a good question. So you missed it at the beginning, Agent. We are going to be now with Filbo distribution. We're gonna keep soliciting through Diamond
Until Diamond says no.
Till Diamond says no. We're going to keep soliciting through Diamond until they say no. But I think more and more people are leaving. So we are also with Filbo. As far as Lunar goes, it's been a while. It's been a couple of months since I've reached out to him. So I should probably do it again because the last time I reached out to him, they pointed me towards, help me out here. The conglomerate that they were doing.
Mammoth.
Massive.
Oh.
Pointed me toward Massive, and that was just not doable at all for us. If they have revised that and have now that they've kind of got things going,
and lost DC.
Say again.
They
lost DC. So and DC's going with Universal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I need to reach out to Universal again because it's been several months since I've talked to them. So the truth is that we'll be distributed through anyone who's willing to distribute us. We're never exclusive through Diamond. They were just the only ones on the block. So if there are any distributors out there who looking for smaller publishers to fill in your catalog pages, yell at us. We are here, and we've got the content. So, Agent Cub says, "Will I be able to get books from you direct?" Yeah, mostly what we do, Agent Cub, is we were at Crowdfunders. We're probably gonna have 11 this year. We do them maybe 10. We got about a 2-week gap. We run them for 4 weeks. That ends up to be about 10 if I do my math right. So we got one running right now, and all of the issues are available there as back issues. So we encourage you to get the new thing, and then anything that you missed, get it as a back issue. So that's always going to be the case with us. Buying them direct from us, we do have a store. We do have a back issue store, but the only thing available in the back issue store is the thing that we've released nationally. To the comic shops and not the stuff that's crowdfunded. I know that sounds confusing. It's not.
Well, because the crowdfunders are kind of exclusive to the people who support us.
Yes.
And
Right.
It's not a nationwide thing.
Right. Yeah. David Rios says Lunar is huge now with all the new publishers. Yeah. So hopefully Lunar will let us in. I'll reach back out to them. Do you guys do retailer exclusive? We're absolutely happy to do a retailer exclusive.
It's easy to do a cover. We do We have some now. Well, it's not.
Yes.
It's a cover exclusive, not a book exclusive. Yeah.
And also we have a buy a retailer where at a certain level in our pledges you can buy your own retailer who will come to your house and sell you comics.
Sure.
Yeah.
For enough money, I will hand deliver the comic to your house if that's what you want.
We do have a retailer.
And then never leave.
Cook me some spaghetti or something like that. I'll hang out for a while. We'll watch TV.
We have one retailer that frequently backs our campaigns. And I don't have a copy here. I should. But they get, for the number of comics that they get their logo put on the cover. So
you wouldn't have any copies because you give them all to the.
That's true. Yeah. And I don't buy them back from them. So, So Coliseum of Comics, who you probably heard us at the beginning.
They order 25 copies. You print 25 copies and you hand deliver them 25 copies. Yeah. It's exclusive to the store.
So agent, the answer is absolutely. We'll talk to any retailer who wants to talk to us, and we're real easy to deal with. So
it's Roland. He's right there.
That's right. Agent says I order. Whoops, where'd he go? I order through Discount Comic Book Service, and they just stopped ordering from Diamond. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm thinking that's going to be the thing. I think that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think I think that is what's happening. A lot of people have stopped ordering from Diamond.
Yeah,
and we saw
maybe just ordering the specific stuff that they can't get anywhere else. I don't even know if there is anything like that, but
I don't know.
So,
well, Diamond's still shipping stuff.
Yeah,
they're not paying anything yet. They're still shipping stuff. But yeah, I've been hearing from retailers that they've kind of stopped ordering from Diamond. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I would love to see Diamond just suddenly get their acting gear and say, "Okay, we got to figure it out now. All the checks are going out. All the books are going out.
We're sorry.
We're now we got the shipping order and we know what's going on, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. So, if anybody listening knows of a distributor that I haven't mentioned, none of us have mentioned here tonight, send me a message. I will reach out to any of them and talk. So, because I'm of the belief that anybody who's willing to carry our books,
we got plenty of cool stuff for them.
Yeah,
why not? I mean, we've always said that wherever you can sell your book, we need to put our books there to sell. Right?
100%. Yeah, Agent Cup says, I'm hoping Diamond can turn it around. I'm with you,
too.
Agent. I'm hoping they can.
See what happens. Yeah, it's pretty. So,
all right. So we already mentioned that Tom is going to be at
San Diego.
Wearing a hat with a big arrow pointing down so you can see him through the crowd. So
that's right.
So make sure you take your Dinosaurs for Hire and prototypes and other books that Tom worked on to get signed. You're going to have to hunt him down though because he's not going to be at a spot. Mike, what's the next show for you?
I've got one coming up in August, but I'm not sure. I got some conflicting dates, so
okay,
I'm trying to work that one out.
Roberta, no show scheduled for you yet?
No, not yet.
Well, we need you to get feeling better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then Tommy and I, we got some August stuff, which I don't have right in front of me right now.
August Con.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, this is long. The single issue story, that Silverline show on Tuesday, says the single issue story is the toughest thing to write in comics. When writing a series, one has a safety that says if any singular issue is weak, others will be strong, and in the end, taken as a whole, you could save the series. So whether writing 2 or 6 issues of multiple issue tales afford you that safety net. Not so a single issue, wherein one has to come in, identify characters, set up the challenge to them, then solve it all within a standard 22 to 24 page comic. And if
you write that, that's a big explanation.
And if you fail to get it right, proper balancing and pacing, it's easy to crash and burn.
Well, that's like a pilot for a TV show.
It sure is.
That's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, there's nothing there. I may be co-hosting this one on Wednesday. I can't remember. It says no Barb and no Kaz. So I'm not sure.
Free for all Wednesdays. Wednesday.
On next Sunday, Mr. Mason here is going to host the episode as the Silver Sunday crew debate the classic character strengths and weaknesses. Who's stronger, Bugs or Daffy, or Thor versus Hulk? That is next Sunday.
I thought it was Superman and Hulk people compared. As little kids when we're fighting in the playground.
Let's see. Here we go.
Well, they will this summer.
That's true.
Pop says, find me some more awesome contacts, Tom.
Done. I'm on it.
Good question. David A. Scooter says, is Tom on any panels? Tom, are you on any panels?
I am not on any panels this year because I'm universally unloved. And
no,
the person who, because I don't organize any panels, my theory is I'll be a guest on anybody's panels, but I'm not the one who's going to pitch them. I don't want to organize them. I don't want to find all the guests. I just want to show up at a time and a place and sit down, make a couple of smart aleck remarks, and then go to lunch. I don't want to
preferably on someone else's expense account.
Right. Yeah. And so if the usual people that put me on panels aren't going to be there this year doing panels, so I'm out.
Well, that's
all right.
There you go, David A. Scooter. That is your. So you can't find Tom at a panel. You're going to have to hunt him down on the floor.
Yes.
Pop says, I've been offered free tables to give away at the Dead Man's Hands Expo in Albany, New York, October 24th to 27th. Hey, do we have any Silverliners up there? October 24th through 27th. Hit Pops up. That's a great opportunity there. And then he says, Thor and Hulk fought many times. You got lots of source material,
including one of the Marvel movies, I believe.
That's true. That was a lot of fun in that one, wasn't it?
Yeah. It felt very much like Kirby.
Yes, it did. All right. Well, you guys know what time it is. Until next time, remember to always
make
mine Silverline. Good night, everybody.
Hi, I'm Dave Dorman. Make mine Silverline.